is our model Alexandra. She has fine, slightly wavy red hair. Alexandra's hair was primed with Aquage C Extend Volumizing Shampoo and Conditioner, the ultimate solution for creating volume in body. Our extra gentle, sulfate-free cleansing system delivers ultra-rich, luxurious lather. Team Quiz artist Dina Nicely begins prepping Alexandra's hair with one of our team's favorite products, uplifting foam. She will apply on dry hair to create maximum holding power and to quickly increase plying strength. We recommend that you spray a generous amount onto a towel and then use a comb to lightly apply it to the hair to avoid oversaturating the hair fiber. Uplifting foam is our weightless spray foam that can be used on wet or dry hair to create volume and lift off the scalp as it increases plying strength. She combs through the section to distribute the product evenly over the cuticle. She blow styles the hair with the Aquage Natural Bristle Round Brush. We recommend working on sections smaller than the width and length of the brush and placing the brush on top of your section while wrapping the ends of the hair around the brush. The Aquage Natural Bristle Round Brush is made from first-cut natural boar bristles which easily grip the hair for maximum control while smoothing and aligning the cuticle during blow styling. We recommend setting your dryer on high heat and high airflow and using your dryer's concentrating nozzle to focus the airflow toward the ends to seal and align the cuticle. When you reach the ends, place the Aquage round brush underneath the section and gently turn the ends under. The goal is to allow the holding power of uplifting foam to seal the cuticle and dry the hair with minimal brushing. Dina continues drying the hair in sections. The goal is not to build volume, but to increase the natural level of plying strength and to influence the hair to flow in the direction which you will later style the hair. For this style, all the hair will be directed toward the back. To have total control over the texture of the hair that you're working on, it's important you become familiar with a concept that we at Aquage call plying strength. Plying strength refers to the level of pliability and flexibility in the hair fiber. We measure plying strength in 10 levels, with 1 being the most pliable and 10 being the least pliable. Ideally, for most of our dress work, we like to work in a range that is between 5 and 6. We describe this range as the ideal range where the hair has a perfect balance between hold and flexibility. If you begin with a client that has thick, coarse hair with a plying strength level that is above a level 6, then we recommend you press the hair with our Aquage Ceramic Flat Iron and Aquage Beyond Shine. This will allow you to reduce the level of plying strength and create a softer, more pliable texture. If instead you begin with hair that is below a level 5, hair that is soft and lacks body, then we recommend that you press with Beyond Body to slightly increase the inherent level of plying strength by 1 or 2 levels. If your customer has a very low level of plying strength, for example, someone that has fine hair, then we recommend that you blow dry with uplifting foam on dry hair or press with Aquage Working Spray. Working Spray is the ultimate plying strength builder, whether you can press the hair and progressively increase plying strength until you reach the highest level of 10. With these 4 tools in your creative arsenal, Beyond Shine, Beyond Body, Uplifting Foam, and Working Spray, you'll be able to create virtually any level of hold and control with speed and proficiency. This style will be created with a side part. Ann begins her B-glam style by setting the hair on electric curlers. She'll create a triangular section on the broad side of the part. She'll begin her first section with a parting that originates at the center of the hairline and travels diagonally toward the side part. The goal is to create a section that is no wider than the roller, but because her sections are pie-shaped, they must be slightly longer than the roller to allow them to fit next to each other. This kind of roller placement is called volume roller placement. She slightly overdirects the section and leaves the ends out for the first couple of revolutions to avoid curling the ends too tightly. She reapplies with working spray as needed and makes sure the hair is smoothly wrapped around the roller with a rat tail comb. She secures the roller with a small pin curl clip. Aquage working spray is an extremely versatile finishing and thermal setting spray that allows you to gradually increase the level of appliance strength, seal the cuticle, and protect the hair from the heat of thermal appliances. The second section is pie-shaped and also originates at the center of the hairline. She applies working spray, combs through, and slides her fingers across the section to ensure even product distribution. She uses her rat-tail comb to gently wrap the hair around the roller. Remember, when rolling pie-shaped sections, always make them slightly longer than the length of the roller to allow the rollers to fit next to each other. Ann now secures the roller with a small pin curl clip. The third section will be reversed. The point of origin will be behind the second roller, and this time, the widest area will be in the front. She will be placing this roller in an upward direction. This type of roller placement is called an indentation roller placement. Unlike volume roller placement, here the roller is always directed upward. The reason for this switch in direction is that in order to create an ideal b.wave pattern in the front, the first two rollers must be rolled downward for volume, creating the beginning or crest of the wave, while the third roller creates an indentation pattern which reverses the wave pattern. This specific roller placement allows you to create a glamorous wave effect. With indentation roller placement, it is sometimes necessary to use two clips to hold the hair in place. Once again, the point of origin for the section will be reversed. This time, the widest area will be toward the back. This roller will again be set downward for volume, and continues to apply working spray to maintain control over the section. The hair in this section will also be set slightly off base and will have to travel farther to reach around the roller. Due to the weight of the rollers, when you begin setting them off base, you may need two pin curl clips to secure them. The last section will be rolled for volume or downward. This section will also be placed slightly off base. Remember, the first two rollers were placed for volume, the third for indentation, and the last two for volume. This type of roller placement will create a beautiful wave pattern that will gracefully flow across the forehead. Ann continues to lightly spray with working spray to keep her work neat and clean. To prevent the heated roller from burning the ear, Ann places a sheet of tissue underneath the roller. She repeats the roller placement on the left side. Because this is the narrow side, she will only be using 3 rollers on this side. Ann recommends keeping your sections neat and clean and rolling the hair as smoothly as possible to create an even wave pattern. On the narrow side, the first roller will be placed in a volume roller placement. For volume roller placement, the degree of elevation of your section will determine how much volume will be created. On this side, the second section will become the indentation part of the wave, so the point of origin will again be on the back, while the base and the widest part of the section will be on the hairline. Ann continues to lightly spray each section with working spray. Remember, for indentation, the roller will be placed in an upward direction. Indentation roller placement will create the shallow portion of the wave. The third section will be set for volume. Remember, on the narrow side, you will only use 3 rollers. The first one for volume, the second for indentation, and the last one, once again, for volume. The most important element of this elegant waving technique is to roll the hair using our b.wave pattern. Remember to always spray working spray on both sides of the section and to comb through, gliding your fingers across the section to ensure even product distribution over the surface of the hair. When using electric curlers, Ann recommends protecting the ear area by placing a sheet of tissue underneath the last roller. The back will be set in a more traditional set pattern. Each section will be parted in a rectangular pattern. The first roller should be placed slightly off base, just below a 90-degree angle, to avoid creating too much volume on top of the head. When this style is combed out, we want the top to drape smoothly over the circumference of the head. Ann continues taking rectangular-shaped sections that are the same length and width as her rollers. She recommends spraying each section individually with working spray. This section will be held slightly lower than the previous one. The goal for this set is to gradually lower the angle of elevation as you travel downward. On the widest point in the back, you'll need to use 2 rollers side by side. When placing rollers next to each other in this manner, it's important to hold both sections of hair at the same angle of elevation to create an even wave pattern. Ann continues setting the hair in the same manner, always taking rectangular-shaped sections and lightly spraying each section methodically with working spray and combing and smoothing each section before rolling. The only difference as she continues working downward toward the nape is that each roll will be held at a slightly lower degree of elevation than the previous one, causing the hair to have to travel farther to reach the roller. This places the roller farther off its base. This section is held at approximately a 45-degree angle. The reason for this is to gradually diminish the amount of volume created as you travel downward toward the hairline. Remember, each time a roller is placed in a downward direction, it is referred to as volume roller placement. But the lower the angle of elevation at which you hold your section, the farther the roller will be placed off its base, thus creating a diminished level of volume in the hair. Ann continues working in this manner until all the hair has been rolled in a downward direction. When finished, the set should look like this. When the rollers have cooled off and have been removed, Ann begins to relax the set. The goal is to blend the set pattern into a solid shape. She brushes the hair with the Aquage smoothing brush. The Aquage smoothing brush is our professional quality dual action brush that is ideal for polishing, dressing, and styling longer hair. The longer nylon bristles direct the hair as you brush, while the first cut natural boar bristles polish the cuticle for exceptional shine and smoothness. Now Ann begins dry molding on the right side by gently shaping the hair into a wave pattern with her comb and fingers. She repeats the technique on the left side. It's important to dry mold the hair before backcombing so you can clearly see your wave pattern and discern when to use shifting versus indentation backcombing along your wave pattern. Ann applies a pea-sized amount of detailing cream before backcombing. She thoroughly emulsifies it in her hands and in between her fingers before applying to the hair. Detailing cream is one of Aquage's most versatile grooming products. This ultralight texturizer smooths the hair's outer surface, eliminating flyaways and enhancing combability. Now Ann will begin structural backcombing. She'll start on the broader side of the part, which has the more dominant wave pattern, and will elegantly drape over the forehead, truly defining the character of our b.wave style. She uses her comb for this technique because the goal is to create only a slight amount of volume and indentation. Ann sections the hair using the same pattern as she did for the set earlier. She holds the first section at a 45-degree angle and begins to create a slight amount of volume using our shifting backcombing technique. When shifting, use short fluid strokes, directing the shorter hair within your section toward the base. Because the hair is held at a lesser or diminished angle, you will sometimes need to slightly tilt your comb to place your backcombing cushion at the base of the section. She repeats the technique on the second section. These two combined sections will create the crest of the wave. The third section will be backcomb in an indentation pattern. She places her comb perpendicular across the top of the section, and using short fluid strokes, she backcombs on the top surface, pushing the shorter hair within her section toward the scalp. The fourth and fifth sections will be backcombed using our shifting technique. Notice that each section that was backcombed mirrored the roller setting pattern. The fifth and final section from the right side is backcombed all the way through the ends to connect the entire section. Remember, with shifting backcombing, you only backcomb all the way to the ends on the last section. Ann now smooths the surface of the hair on the right side into the desired wave pattern using a delicate touch with her comb to avoid removing her structural backcombing. Next, Ann switches to our new detailing brush to build more volume and expansion in the back. With the ideal combination and density of shorter first cut natural boar bristles, nylon reinforced bristles, and a smooth pointed rat tail handle for detailing work, the Aquage detailing brush makes it easier to perform all the structural backcombing techniques, especially when the goal is to expand volume. Ann will be using our peeling backcombing technique in the back. Peeling is specifically designed to expand form and create volume in a billowy, cloud-like manner. When peeling, instead of concentrating the backcombing at the base, Ann focuses her stroke on the area from the ends to the midshaft. Ann performs this technique by placing the detailing brush perpendicular across the section and moving her brush in a fluid stroke from the ends to the midshaft. This technique concentrates the expansion of volume toward the ends. The new Aquage detailing brush is the ideal tool for this technique. Now Ann backcombs the left side. On the sides where she wants less volume, she switches back to her comb. Remember, her sectioning for structural backcombing will be the same as the sectioning she used for her roller set. So she'll be backcombing 3 sections. The first section will be backcombed using our shifting technique. On the second, thinner section, she slightly expands the shape with a light cushion of shifting underneath before switching to indentation backcombing on top of the section. Remember, shifting is used to accentuate the crest of the wave, while indentation is the technique to use to accentuate the shallow part of the wave. The third and final section is backcombed with our shifting technique, this time all the way to the ends to connect the entire section. Before smoothing the surface of the hair, Ann lightly sprays with finishing spray to maintain maximum control while combing. She begins smoothing the surface using a light, delicate touch, always maintaining her awareness of the proper distribution of hair around the circumference of the head and the balance of her design. She continues smoothing the surface while cupping the ends of the hair under. This style is a modern interpretation of a classic 1940s Hollywood wave, so smoothness and polish are key. When Ann begins working on the right side, she is careful to use a very light touch to avoid removing the more delicate backcombing in this area. The goal is to accentuate the wave by gradually spreading the wave pattern around the face while preserving the smoother line toward the back of the hairstyle. It is this graceful transition from wavy in the front to straight in the back that defines the elegant nature of this design. Ann lightly sprays with finishing spray from as far away as possible to make sure the spray is totally dry when it lands over the surface of the hair. She continues lightly but gradually spreading the wave pattern with her fingers. She'll gently turn the ends under. She'll lock in her elegant b.wave design with Aquage finishing spray. Aquage finishing spray is our fast-drying, firm-holding, fine mist hairspray that delivers long-lasting style retention and humidity protection. It's the perfect product to use to build your design and then to lock in your finished style. Ann fine-tunes the shallow portion of the wave pattern. Ann calls this final detailing work sketching, where she gently spreads, defines, and uses finishing spray to accentuate the wave pattern. She adds the finishing touch with Aquage Beyond Shine over the surface of her style from about 10 to 12 inches away. Aquage Beyond Shine delivers brilliant shine and glimmer to your B.glam styles, smoothing the surface and creating a barrier that protects against the effects of high humidity without collapsing your style. And here's the ultimate glamour we call b.wave.